rolling down the tracks here. We got three wheels off the track. We're barely hanging on. And that there signifies the return of the Marty Monologues with Marty Wombacher of the wildly popular blog, Meanwhile Back in Peoria. And as I pound his number into the dial pad here, we'll get the phone ringing. Marty had a great post the other day after Christmas. It was a picture of him laying in bed.
Yeah, with his drunk ass laying in bed with his face pressed into the mattress.
Said to hell with it. No post today. I drank too much.
Hello.
Marty, it's Perm and Vic. What's up, bud?
Hey, not much. Just sharing your link on Facebook.
Hey, well, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate
that.
Yeah.
Problem.
So,
happy Christmas to both of you.
Well, likewise, man. Happy New Year as
well.
Yeah,
man. Merry Christmas, Marty.
Yeah, I had a good one.
Well, I bet you did, man. I saw your day after Christmas post, and it looked like you had a real good one.
Yeah, the day after wasn't too good. I spent most of the day before I had to go into work, and I spent most of it in bed. I drank 31 beers over Christmas Eve and Christmas.
Jesus, man.
I documented it on my blog. If people want to go read it, they can. But yeah, I really kind of tied one on for 2 days.
And that's meanwhilebackinpeoria.com. While you're listening to us talk, go check that out. It's a good one.
Well, I got what I put up. What I want to talk about today is I put up first half of my year. I'm doing a year in review, and that was today's post. It's the first 6 months. I picked out. It goes month by month, January, February. In fact, are you nearby a computer, Big Perm?
I am, sir.
Can you call up today? Because I'm going to need you to do something with me. If you can call up today's post.
I'm on it right now.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. I'll explain what it is. What I did was for today, and then I'm going to wrap it up on New Year's Day. I called the MVIP year in review, and then if you scroll down, you can see it's the first 6 months: January, February, March, April, May, and June. And I picked out like 9 or 10 posts that not necessarily the best on there, but just different kind of things that happened and things that personally I just kind of liked. And out of this 6 months, I've decided what my favorite post of the first 6 months was, and I need you to read it with me. If you scroll down to January to the second to last entry, it's called A Phone Call Between Zager and Evans. Do you see that?
Yep, I do.
Okay, just click on that, and then the page will come up. You got it?
The year 2525.
Yeah. Do you see it?
I do.
Okay, I'll explain what this is. Basically, it was a Sunday. It was January 26th, right into the new year. Well, it was a Sunday where I have contributing writers who do stuff on Saturday and Sundays a lot of weeks, but a lot of times too. I mean, I don't pay guys, so it's like I can't, hold a fire under their feet. A lot of times I get a last-minute phone call, and they'll say, oh, shit, I couldn't get that done. And they'll be like, don't worry about it. I'll think of something. Well, it happened to me on a Saturday. I needed something for the next day. This is one of these things that I write sometimes. People either think it's really funny or they just really hate it. And I got both reactions to this one. I don't even know how it came to me. And again, it's always to me, I've heard songwriters talk about it, where once in a blue moon, I'll just be sitting there and I'll just start typing something up, and then it just flows by itself. Well, that's what happened with this. I imagined a phone call. Do you remember In the Year 2525, that song?
I do.
Okay, it was by this duo called Zager and Evans. And I just started wondering what happened to them, and then that turned into like them calling each other, a phone call between the two of them. And basically I wrote this phone call between the two of them in modern day, what I thought the conversation would go. And I'll read the introduction to it. The title is A Phone Call Between Zager and Evans, January 26, 2014. I want to read it. I'll read the introduction. This is kind of anybody listening who doesn't know about these guys. This is from Wikipedia. This is Zager and Evans were a Lincoln, Nebraska rock-pop duo of the late 1960s named after its two founding members, Denny Zager and Rick Evans. They're mostly known as a one-hit wonder for their 1969 single, In the Year 2525. In the Year 2525 hit number 1 on the Hot 100 charts in 1969. It claimed the number 1 spot for 6 weeks. It also topped the charts in the UK. Despite the record's massive success, follow-up singles such as Mr. Turnkey a song about a rapist who nails his own wrist to the jail wall as punishment for his crime, went largely unnoticed by the public. In the year 2525, it was their only Hot 100 entry. So that's the story behind that. These guys, who knows what happened to them after that? I never heard about them again. And it's just like that song, too, in the year 2525, I always hated it. Me and my brother used to make fun of it. It's a real hokey song. So what I need you to do is I have this conversation. It's a phone call between Zager and Evans that I imagined happened. I need you to be a Zager.
All right.
You scroll down. Do you see the dialogue?
I see it. Yep, I got it right here.
Yeah, okay. You start it off. You're Zager, and I'm going to be Evans, and we'll have this conversation. And there's parts of it where it says awkward silence. Where it says awkward silence, it'll be silent for a while. Then I'll start it up again. So you start the whole thing off. So this is a little comedy between me and Big Perm here.
Alrighty.
And then then after it, after it, I want to explain. There's a second part to this story that really for me made this one of the best things I've ever done. So, all right, here's a phone call between Zager and Evans. You take it away. You're Zager.
Hello.
Hello, can I speak to Zager, please?
This is Zager. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hi Zager. This is Evans.
Hello, Evans. It's been quite a while since we last spoke, huh?
Yeah. I think the last time we talked was at our bankruptcy meeting in 1970.
That's right. Wow. I still can't believe we lost all of our money.
Yeah, I know. I guess we were pretty dumb to let our manager handle our cash. He robbed us blind and blew all of our money.
Yeah, we were really stupid.
So what have you been doing in the last few decades, Zager?
Not a whole lot, Evans. I pretty much just sit around in a depressed funk and think about those few months we were rich and famous and all the trappings that went with it and how we lost it all so quickly.
Hey, Zager, remember the time we were on the Smothers Brothers TV show?
Oh, boy, do I ever. Evans, remember the party in Hollywood that we went to after the show, all the booze and drugs?
And the women. We had our pick of any of the women that night. Whew. I remember it ended in a cocaine-fueled orgy. Those were the days, my friend.
No fooling. Hey, Evans, when's the last time you had sex with a woman?
I think it was back in 1971, if I'm remembering correctly.
Was she a prostitute?
Yeah.
Was she good-looking?
Oh, no. I only had $7 to my name at the time. She was smelly, fat, toothless, and I think just a touch retarded. How about you, Zager? When was the last time you had sex with a woman?
The night of the Smothers Brothers show at the party in Hollywood.
Hey, Zager, can I ask you something personal?
Yeah, sure, Evans. What?
You ever had to, suck cock for money?
Oh, yeah. How about you, Evans? Have you ever had to suck cock for cash?
Yeah, and it's not very fun and pretty gosh darn degrading.
I know. I feel a little ill just thinking about it. Boy, I never thought back in 1969 we'd end up as two old male whores.
Yeah, our lives are not a pretty picture.
Hey, Evans, do you ever get so depressed that you think about suicide?
Oh, I sure do, Zager. I spend pretty much all day and all night with a razor blade on my wrist, trying to summon up the courage to end this horrible, depressing nightmare of a life. How about you, Zager? You ever think about suicide?
Oh, yeah, Evans. I cradle a loaded sawed-off shotgun 24/7. One of these days, I'll finally find the guts to pull the trigger and put myself out of this misery that some people call a life.
Well, listen, I got to run, Zager. Thanks for calling. It's been great talking with you.
Hey, nice talking to you too, Evans. Sneeze you later, alligator.
Toodaloo, buckaroo.
God,
click. Then there's the sound of a shotgun blast in the distance. That's the end of the story. But it doesn't end there. And like I say, I had mixed reactions to this from some guy on Facebook, I forget who it was, said, this is the stupidest thing I've ever read. What are you going to grease his quote was, what are you going to grease, a wheelchair ramp next? And then other people said, this is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever read. It's like National Lampoon. So I got some decent comments, but you know who left a comment?
Who?
Rick Evans.
Get out of town, no way.
No, I swear to God, and he left his email, so I know it's him. So I get comments and that. Now I leave home, and I come back home, and I see, boom, there's a comment. And I go, and I'll read it to you. He was really pissed. It says Rick Evans. If you scroll down, you'll see it.
Killing myself. God damn it.
What's that?
So you got me sucking cock and killing myself. I'm pissed.
Well, okay, he quoted the article. It says, Evans, I know we were pretty dumb to let our manager handle our cash. He robbed us blind and blew all our money. That's a quote that he put in. Then, this is him writing. This is why I know it's him, too. Nobody else would know this shit. It says, that manager was Jerry Weintraub, who's a famous manager. I think you may be interested in knowing that some guy in Peoria has made it public with his statement that Jerry is an unethical crook. Perhaps he ripped off John Denver, Neil Diamond, Frank Sinatra, and all the actors in the Ocean 11 movies and hundreds of others as well. I think he might be interested in knowing that. I'm Rick Evans, writer and lead singer of 2525. Then he puts a legal document about his writing it and copyrights. It says, I'm making Jerry Weintraub aware of this blog. Could help your career. I mean, I think he was trying to scare me. And thanks.
Right.
I wasn't aware that I got so ripped off. I have homes in 3 states, all paid for in cash from royalties. How could that be? This guy took it seriously.
Yeah.
And so I commented back to him. I'm thinking, he must be some bitter fucking old man. And I don't know how he heard about it. Maybe it did make me think, wow, his blog gets hits from all over, because I'm guessing someone that knew him saw it and then notified him.
And send it to him, yeah.
So I commented back to him and says, at Rick Evans, I think most people are aware that this is a joke about being a one-hit wonder. That's great that you have 3 homes. It's 3 places that you can yell at kids to get off of your front yard. I sent him an email, too, and I'm like, hey, I hope I thought I would love to get sued by Jerry Weintraub. I mean, he's not going to get anything out of me, and I'd get so much fucking publicity, it would be crazy.
Yeah, I'm reading through these comments, man, and the one right after your comment says, holy crap, that's too funny. You write a little weirdly humorous and odd post in Podunk, Peoria, and wake up the big dog himself. Loving this one, Marty.
Yeah, that was Robin Mathis. I think that's a musician here in town. The best is from the one above that, from this guy, Dr. Bob. He's a Canadian.
What a knob.
What a knob.
Yeah. But Marty, the whole fucking story, out of the whole story, what this guy got pissed off at was that you insulted his fucking manager? What the
I know. Well, I've said that to people, too. He doesn't point out that I'm saying they're sucking cock for cash. All that, I'm glad you brought that up, Vic, because I made that point to him, too. I'm like, I could kind of see, now I could see where he's like, here, fuck you, I don't suck cock for cash. He's upset that I misinterpreted his manager.
God damn it. That's human right there. That sums it all up right there.
But to me, it's just like, never in my life did I think that I would write something and get Rick Evans from Zager and Evans pissed off at me.
Yeah. Now that you called him a one-hit wonder, not that he's sucking dick for money, he's worried that you insulted his former manager that stole from him.
Well, and I got a feeling, because, I've heard of Jerry Weintraub. He's a huge, he's got to be a multi-millionaire. If he contacted him, I'm sure Jerry Weintraub said, are you out of your fucking mind? I'm like, this is some guy in Peoria. What do you even care?
Right?
Call me every week with this bullshit. Stop it.
And the fact that he couldn't tell, huh?
I was just going to say, we've been talking with all our guests tonight about, the year 2014 and asking them, some memorable moments and some forgettable moments. And so I wanted to ask you, what was probably your most memorable moment from 2014?
That was one of them right there. I don't know if I have just one. I mean, I would tell you my most memorable feeling or whatever ever since I moved back is just how glad I am to be back here. And this is the second year of the blog. I had my second year anniversary on December 10th. I've been doing it over 2 years now. And like I say, it's not really, I guess it is of this year because it turned 2, and I did tell some people, I had some of my friends over at Mike's Tavern were talking about it. I'm like, people said to my face, and I heard people saying behind my back when I started this, oh, he'll do this for about 2 months, and then there's no way he can keep it going. And
well,
it's been over 2 years now. Yeah, exactly. It's been over 2 years, and there's no end in sight. So it's really, I really am glad that I moved back here. I mean, I enjoyed my time out in New York, but I've had a blast these last 2 years. It's proved to me, I mean, you guys prove it too with your show. All the great people in this city, not only in Peoria, but in the outlying cities, and all the fun stuff to do. I mean, you were talking with Roy from Brainchild. That was a memorable moment. I was at there was a Yardbird show, and Brainchild was one of the opening acts. I know, well, I told the story about going to Memphis with Jim McCarty, who's the drummer. So I was backstage, and right before Brainchild went on, and I was just talking, and they'd all looked at my blog, and I felt good because they were all asking about it. They all liked it. And I'm talking with like 3 guys in the Yardbirds, and Brainchild, they introduced Brainchild goes on, we're talking, they're not even looking at him. They start playing, and I mean, their jaws dropped, and they turned around, and they listened for like 5 minutes. Then they turned to me, and they're like, who the fuck are those guys? And I said, that's Brainchild. They're like, are they from here? I mean, they were like blown away. And I'm like, yeah, they're from Peoria.
Those guys, every time I see them play, they're just tremendous. The first time I saw them play was at my buddy's wedding reception, and we were under this big tent out in a park somewhere, and I just was blown away. I'm like, how much did it cost to get, where did they, because I'd heard of them, but I'd never heard them play before. And, man, I was just blown away. And, to hear that kind of compliment, from those guys, going to Brainchild, I mean, that's shit.
They couldn't believe it. It was the first time I saw them, too. I met them before the show. They came up to me. They read the blog, and I'd heard of the band. It was Roy and I forget who else, but they saw me taking pictures, so they came up and said hi. And I said, God, I've heard of your guys' band. I think I heard on your show. And I said, I can't wait to see you guys play. And, I just wasn't prepared for what I saw. And like I say to Yardbirds, to see their reaction, these guys tour the world. They were just one of them's exact words were, who the fuck are those guys? Almost complimentary, but almost like, holy shit, they're better than us.
Well, and every time that I see them play, man, my hair is just blown back, what little hair I have.
Yeah.
And
they're so good. And, I just really have enjoyed being back here. My blog forces me to go out and meet people and do things. Last night I met my friend Amber down at Sky Harbor. We had a blast down there, hanging out with Daryl and the gang down there. And,
does Jimmy Binkley still play down there?
He does. I was hoping he was going to be there. He was a little under the weather, Daryl. Daryl said he's okay. He just wasn't feeling too good, so they had another guy sitting in on acoustic guitar. But there's always live music there, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Sometimes there's jam sessions. Did you know Daryl Klusendorf, the guy who owns it?
I know who he is, yes, sir.
You ought to have him on the show sometime.
Hey,
he's a musician.
We're open to everything. That'd be great.
Yeah, he's a musician. He has this series every Thursday night, I think the last Thursday of every month called Pickin' On, and they pick an artist. Like one month it'll be like Dan Fogelberg, and he'll have a bunch of local guys. It's called Pickin' On Dan Fogelberg, and they'll play all like Dan Fogelberg songs or Neil Young or whoever. But he's done a lot of stuff in town, and there's just so many great people and things. It's running around and doing the blog just gives you a good excuse to walk into places. I mean, I started a new thing on the blog. This was a memorable moment. Do you know the Converse building up on the top of the Main Street Hill? It's like a really old classic building.
Yeah, right there at the Main Street and North, like right next to High Street there.
Exactly. I've driven by that because I work down at the end of Main Street. I've driven by that thing hundreds of times, and I said, God, I got to find an angle to do that. Well, I've started a new series on my blog, and it's just called Can I Eat My Lunch in Here? And I got a sandwich from Pretty Easy. Walked in there, and it is sometimes doing the blog. I tell people it's like doing improv almost, because I walked in, and it's really nice inside. There was a receptionist there behind a really nice desk, and she's like, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I do this blog." She'd never heard of the blog. I said, "I do this blog." She's like, "Okay, well, what can I do for you?" And I said, "Well, there's a new series that I'm doing on, and this is the first time I'm doing it." She's like, "Well, what is it?" I said, "It's called Can I Eat My Lunch in Here?" She looked at me real funny, and she's like, What can I help you with? I said, well, I'm asking you, can I eat my lunch in here? You got to have a lunchroom. She said, well, I don't know. I said, well, do you need to ask somebody? And she said, well, yeah, let me go talk to somebody. Now she comes down, and it's real uneasy, and that's kind of what I like about it. She came back down, looked kind of funny, and kind of said, well, yeah, if you want to eat back here in our lunchroom, there's like a little kitchen area, and she just left me back there alone, so I'm taking pictures back there. They got booze bottles. I put the post up the next day, and I think they got I know they got a big reaction from it. People really liked the idea of it. And so then they one of the guys that works there on Twitter said, loved your post, Marty. We didn't really know what you were doing, but it's great. Anytime you want a tour, please just give us a call. So just the other week, then I called them, and they gave me like a tour of the whole place, the history behind it. It used to be a funeral home at one point. But it's just doing stuff like that around Peoria. You find out just how friendly and nice people can be, even when you're doing super weird shit, which half the time is what I'm doing.
Oh, shit. Well, Vic, let me throw it over to you, man.
Marty, other than Can I Eat My Lunch in Here, do you have anything else you're wanting to do in 2015 you can let everybody know about?
I'll tell you guys, I don't really plan much. I mean, I pretty much only plan a week ahead to kind of keep it spontaneous. So to tell it truthfully, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I don't really have, I have next week planned, which will be kind of a light week because New Year's Day I'm posting my second week in review, but I don't know what I'm doing the week after next. I never have planned it. Back when I was doing my 365 bar blog, I wouldn't pick. People said, well, how far in advance are you planning these bars? I'm like, when I go to work, I get on Google, and then if I find a bar that night, I plan that night by night. To kind of do the style I do, it's got to be kind of fresh and spontaneous, kind of like what we do here. It's like I don't really plan much, and I like doing things that way because it's kind of like working without a net, and it either works or it doesn't, but if it doesn't work, then it's still kind of fun.
Well, Marty, I know 2014 was filled with a lot of memorable moments, but I'm sure there were also some moments that were just plain forgettable. What's your most forgettable moment from 2014?
Well, one thing I'd like to forget, and I wish it didn't happen, and maybe a lesson to some people, you drive a cab. If I'm going out drinking, and I know if I'm going to go out and get fucked up, and sometimes I do, like the last 2 nights for Christmas, I'll take a cab or I'll get a ride with friends. One of the worst things that happened this year was one of my best friends, since we've been 13 or 14, not to bring the show down, but you asked, so here we go. He had a 30-year-old son in Chicago, really great kid. In fact, we all kind of lived in the same house when he was a baby. My friend Moon, at the time it was his girlfriend Chris and Shane, their kid. And I watched this kid grow up. Really nice guy. He was going to get married in October. He lived in Chicago, worked in an art department, and saw some guy stumbling out of the bar and getting into a car. And he said to his friend, I got to get that guy's keys away from him. He can't drive. He's going to kill somebody. And so he went out and tried to get the guy's keys, and the guy, floored it. Shane fell under the car. The guy ran him over and killed him.
Oh, damn.
And then took off. And this guy now they caught him. It's too long to get into. What he's saying is that Shane was trying to rob him, and that's why he took off. There's no way this kid wouldn't take a dime from you. And so that was just, I mean, and it's a lesson to be learned that, be thankful for every day that's a good day, because my friends, they're just devastated by this.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And
that was the low point of my...
Definitely a forgettable moment of 2014, Marty. And, as you mentioned, I drive a cab, Big Perm, I work for Tri-County Cab Company. Make sure, especially coming up on New Year's, I mean, we've been talking about celebrating and going out and getting fucked up on New Year's Eve. I'm not driving. I'm taking a cab. I'm going to call the boys and have them take me wherever I need to go. And that's the way you got to travel, man.
I have no problem with people getting fucked up, drinking, taking drugs. Do whatever you want to do, as long as you're not hurting somebody else. I'm not judgmental at all, but it's like, don't get behind the fucking wheel.
Yeah, no shit, man. Jesus Christ. Well, listen, Marty, we've only got a minute or two left. Vic Nasty, you got any final words?
Marty, I've enjoyed you this year, Marty. I love each and every one of your stories that you tell us every week, whether, you're getting us up high, you're bringing us down low, getting us in between, pissing us off. I love every minute of it, Marty, and I can't wait for 2015, man.
Hey, me too. I really appreciate you guys having me on. It's been one of the high points has been meeting you guys. We got to go out and do lunch again, and I got to figure out that Rick Springfield thing.
Oh yeah, that's coming up here January 25th.
I keep forgetting about that. This week I'm gonna try and work on that. I'll send you a message and let you know. I'm gonna try and call my friend Brad this week.
Cool. And hey, Dick Stolley too. If you could email Dick Stolley and tell him a couple of bums in Peoria want to talk to him.
Yeah, because I'm sure that he would. Now, you guys, you could do it any time, right?
We can. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to do it live. We can pre-record these. Yeah. Yeah, just any opportunity to talk with him would just be an honor, man. I mean, he's a Pekin guy that's done so much, and man, it'd just be so fascinating.
Yeah. In fact, I'll try. When we hang up, I'm going to send him an email. That way,
perfect. That'd be awesome,
I'll hear something tomorrow. Yeah, no problem.
Hey, sweet. Well, Marty, listen. For myself, Vic Nasty, and everybody listening, we just really honestly want to say thank you for joining us every Sunday night and for willing to be a part of this train wreck that we call the Big Perm Show, man. I really appreciate it, and we're totally looking forward to 2015, man.
Hey, it's been my pleasure. I'm looking forward to it, too. Happy New Year, guys.
You got it, Marty.
Likewise, brother. Be well.
All right, we'll see you.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Marty Wombacher. The Marty Monologues, kind of like the Vagina Monologues, but with a real dick. Go and check out his blog. It's meanwhilebackinpeoria.com, where you can find that Zager and Evans story that we reenacted here on the Big Perm Show. Oh my God, Vic, sucking cock for cash.